Good evening. Welcome to TVB News. The Chinese Medicine Hospital announced a fourth increase to its quota of residents eligible for government-subsidized outpatient services at the facility. The services are estimated to double the initial amount set for this year and is expected to benefit over 140,000 people. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Having provided outpatient services since operations began in December last year, the Chinese Medicine Hospital already increased its quota for those eligible for government-subsidized services on 3 occasions during the first month of its opening. On Saturday, the hospital announced further additions to the quota to meet rising patient demand, with the figure expected to rise from around 60,000 to more than 140,000 over the course of the first year. Wang Kuai-hyun, the chairman of the hospital, says hospital staff will closely monitor the operational situation on site and make assessments at the end of this year in accordance with societal reaction, as well as resource and manpower arrangements. He adds the latest update to the quota may require increasing the amount of doctors in the facility, but the hospital will prioritize raising its service efficiency for the short term.
3, 2, 1.
Having held its inaugural ceremony today, the Hong Kong Global Summit on Chinese Medicine and Integrative Medicine welcomed medical experts from across the world to share the latest research and training materials in the field in a number of themed speeches and forums. More than 8,000 people were expected to have participated in the event.
香港特区政府首次制定5年规划。
Speaking about medical innovations in a speech, Secretary for Health Lo Chung-mao says the Hong Kong government is determined to showcase Chinese medicine to the international community as part of the city's first 5-year plan. He adds the Chinese Medicine Hospital earlier signed 16 cooperation agreements with several local universities and key mainland hospitals, during which the Chinese Medicine Hospital also established partnerships with a number of hospitals in Beijing and Shanghai. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Hopon Management Company will convene an online homeowner meeting for Wanfu Court residents on July the 19th, weeks after owners' request. The government-appointed administrator earlier applied to the Lands Tribunal for an extension but was rejected by authorities. In a statement, Hopon says the meeting will take place at 11 a.m. across 4 venues via live broadcast, including Tai Po Community Centre and Kai Tak Community Hall. To attend the meeting, Wanfu Court owners must submit their venue preferences and a mobile phone number capable of receiving SMS messages through the website of Hopon no later than 11 a.m. on July the 15th. A ballot system will be used to assign seats if registrations exceed the available capacity of a venue. Addressing the recent resignation of lawmaker William Wong after he was arrested for his involvement in a suspected drink driving incident, Legislative Council President Starry Lee says Wong bore his responsibility as a legislator. Regarding the possibility of a by-election, the lawmaking body explains it is awaiting the government's arrangement. Wong, an associate dean at CUHK's Faculty of Engineering, was arrested on Monday on suspicion of drink driving and a hit and run at the university's staff quarters parking lot. He subsequently resigned from his role as lawmaker on Friday, citing his hope to not affect the operations of the lawmaking body. This, as the LegCo president says, the Hong Kong community has high expectations for the conduct of lawmakers and hopes other legislators can learn a lesson from this incident. Secretary for Development Bernadette Lin says that the tenders for 100Q pilot area have a diversified background. The comment comes a day after the tender submission deadline was over for the land parcel. Mimosa Ngai reports.
The government received 2 bids for the 100Q pilot area at noon on Friday, the deadline for the tender submission. Speaking on a radio program on Saturday, Secretary for Development Bernadette Lin says the tenders have a diversified background. Lin says the companies are not simply developers, but they are experienced industry operators. And that meets the government's goal, which is to collect the two parties through the development of the Northern Metropolis. On Friday, the government also gazetted the Northern Metropolis Development Bill, which will be introduced to the Legislative Council for first and second readings on Wednesday. While the goal is to pass the bill by the end of the year, the Development Secretary stresses that authorities will not lose grip of the mega project's supervision, despite the ordinance aim to streamline and accelerate the planning and construction work. In response to the clashes between Hong Shou-Kil residents and government officials, after the former refused to leave the area, saying they had not been informed in advance, Lin notes that the earliest notice was issued in 2022. Moments 9, TVB News.
Iranian officials and foreign delegates pay their final tribute to the country's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in a funeral ceremony in central Tehran on Friday. The ceremony at Imam Khomenei's Masala prayer hall took place months after an airstrike killed 86-year-old Khamenei at the start of the Iran war. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, Judiciary Chief Gholam Hossein Mohseni Ejei and other senior officials were present. Hundreds of thousands of people reportedly traveled from across the country to fill the streets of Tehran. When the casket containing the late leader's body was unveiled in a glass case, some mourners burst into tears and chanted, "Our word is one, revenge, revenge."
The casket containing the body draped with the Iranian flag is displayed at Tehran's Grand Musalla, together with some of the coffins of his family members killed on February 28, when the US and Israel jointly launched the war on Iran.
Among the foreign guests were Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Saeed Asamunian, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, Iraqi President Nizar Ahmedi and Tajik President Emomali Rahmon. The days-long ceremonies will last through July the 9th, with processions in Tehran, Qum and Mashhad, as well as rites in Iraq. Iranian authorities have announced public closures and airspace restrictions in the capital city and Mashhad on key dates. Khamenei's body will return to Iran for the final burial in Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad, Khamenei's place of birth, on Thursday, which is declared as a day of national mourning. As the funeral went on, President Donald Trump said in South Dakota in front of Mount Rushmore that he takes pride in the performance of the United States about his actions against Venezuela and Iran.
We beat Venezuela in one day, and we knocked the hell out of Iran. They're dying to settle. They want to settle so badly. We gave them a week off for a funeral because we're nice. It's true.
Rescue teams from around the world working around the clock to locate survivors in Venezuela, more than a week after the two powerful earthquakes struck the country. This as residents in Caracas continue to grapple with the aftermath of the earthquakes, as daily life is still marked by the aftershock of the tragedy. Tracy Furness reports.
People gathered outside a school in Caracas Friday where the structure gave way several days after the devastating earthquakes. Debris removal was about to begin. Engineer Vladimir Torrealba took photos of the damage. He says, "I thought things had settled already, but today there was another building collapse. We were inside. Support efforts were set to begin today, and then we heard the crash. As the back of the building was collapsing, one person was injured." Elsewhere in the city, worshippers gathered for an outdoor mass at the Basilica of Santa Teresa, reflecting on the disaster and the sense of unity it has brought amid this tragedy. This worshipper says the church is a place of coming together, especially at a time like this, when we as a country didn't expect this natural phenomenon so strong and violent, and at this time words fail me. Meanwhile, a Mexican Red Cross search dog named Halley has emerged as an atypical hero after locating a man who miraculously survived 8 days trapped beneath the rubble of a collapsed building. The survivor, Hernan Gil Flores, was pulled from the basement of a shopping mall following a grueling technical operation sparked by the 5-year-old Canaan's precise tracking. Hallie, an internationally certified canine handler team member of the Mexican Red Cross, then signaled a positive live scent deep within a pancaked concrete structure, alerting the search and rescue crews. This, as response from outside groups, has been crucial to help the survivors of Venezuela's earthquakes currently living in shelters. One of the main organizations on the ground is World Central Kitchen, which mobilized local chefs and suppliers to distribute food at more than 60 locations in Caracas. And the Chinese government has decided to donate an additional 100 million yuan worth of emergency supplies for earthquake relief and reconstruction. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
Welcome back. Pop singer Taylor Swift has married to NFL footballer Travis Kelce last night in a secretive ceremony attended by some 1,000 guests at Madison Square Garden, one of New York's iconic venues. Your English teacher and gym teacher have finally gotten married. Taylor Swift's publicist confirms that the singer and her fiancé, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, tied the knots Friday night and exchanged vows in front of a celebrity-filled guest list, capping their 3-year love story. Comedian Adam Sandler was the surprising officiant of the ceremony. The couple, both 36, did not have bridesmaids or groomsmen, instead picking Taylor's brother Austin Swift as a man of honor and Travis's brother and fellow footballer Jason Kelce as the groom's best man. Numerous fans and spectators amassed on the shut-down Midtown area in blistering heat over the jam-packed July 4th weekend, hoping to get a glimpse of the glitterati. Tight security has been on display as hundreds of police were seen patrolling.
There is a lot of commotion happening around me. We have Swifties, fans, New Yorkers all showing up to see if they can catch glimpses of the wedding or even Taylor entering. We have a lineup of black SUVs that are waiting to enter the garden. There is a makeshift tent that has been created.
I came because I've been waiting like 20 years for this day, like everybody else.
I think that's very historic. I think she stopped the whole city and everyone knows her. So we just came to wish her, again, the best of luck, that God bless them and they are like happily married.
Singers Camila Cabello, Jennifer Lopez, Ed Sheeran, actors Hugh Grant, Ethan Hawke, Bradley Cooper, comedian Jimmy Fallon and models Karlie Kloss and Gigi Hadid were spotted entering Madison Square Garden. Athletes, including New York Giants wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster and Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Cooper Kupp, were also attending. The star-studded wedding bash reportedly stretched into Saturday. A jumbotron around the arena reading "Just Married" was lit up for Taylor and Travis on the big day, and lights atop the Empire State Building turned blue in the evening as a nod to the something blue in celebration. Ahead of the nuptials, the two donated $26 million to 20 local and national charities across the U.S. Many of them are located in areas where the couple have deep ties, including Nashville, Los Angeles, and Kansas City. A dangerous heat wave upended the 4th of July celebrations across swaths of the central and eastern United States on Friday. Tracy Furness has more.
Yeah, overwhelmingly hot is an understatement. It is incredibly hot. It's a disaster to be out there. And I would just say that these museums are a lifesaver.
Outside, the National Archives Museum in Washington, D.C. is dressed in the celebratory America 250 colors, but few people are walking about due to the blistering heat. At the Great American State Fair on the National Mall, a National Guard member explains to tourists why the event was temporarily closed.
Yes, we are having a lot of heat-related illnesses. People are just dropping.
Okay, all right, so till 5, they're going to...
Medics were seen carrying a gurney into the fair after the event was closed for the afternoon.
Paramedics had to come in and took out 15 different people because they collapsed under the heat. So they're not shutting things down to be controlling. They shut them down for safety. People, go get yourself hydrated so you can come back in and enjoy this great American fair.
Record-breaking temperatures spread to the eastern U.S. from the Midwest earlier in the week due to the emergence of a high-pressure system known as a heat dome, which traps a mass of hot air over a region and can cause humidity to spike. Over 185 million people, more than half of the US population, were under heat alerts Friday, the National Weather Service said, which expects the heat to peak at around 46 degrees Celsius in parts of the country. The heat wave is expected to continue into the weekend, over the 4th of July celebrations when Americans usually gather for barbecues, parades and firework displays. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
A passenger bus plunged from a highway into a rocky ravine in southwestern Pakistan on Friday, killing 40 and injuring 8 others. The bus fell into a ravine in remote Danasar while carrying not only its own passengers, but also some from another bus that had broken down. Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari expresses sorrow over the crash and offers condolences to the families of those killed. Road accidents are common in Pakistan due to poor road conditions, inadequate law enforcement and unsafe driving practices. Chief Executive John Lee inspects the Emergency Control Center of the Civil Engineering and Development Department. Lee and Secretary for Development Bernadette Lin visit the Emergency Control Center. They remind the department to strengthen its flood and landslip prevention work amid the rainy season. Meanwhile, the department displays its latest landslip warning system to Lee. The service organization Lions Clubs International hosts its annual conference in Hong Kong for the 3rd time. The event attracts a total of 17,000 global members. Samantha Lowe has the story.
A performance of the 1,000-armed Guan Yin kicked off the opening ceremony of the 108th annual convention at the Asia World Expo. The convention previously came to Hong Kong in 1992 and 2005. Lions Clubs International is one of the largest service organizations in the world, providing humanitarian services such as healthcare and hunger relief. Participants can network with other members from 140 countries and regions across the world.
I'm a nurse and I see in my daily practice what diabetes can do to populations. I'm hoping to talk to people that are more involved in the cause so they can provide new perspective on how Brazil and our club can impact society.
The basic purpose of our attending this convention is to witness, to hear the stories, the service stories, and if we can do some type of collaborations.
Members can also purchase Lions Club's merchandise from other regions. The first ethnic Chinese president of the club suggests that Hong Kong can draw on foreign experiences to enhance the quality of its community services.
There's something we are able to offer to other countries that we are able to share with them. On the other hand, in some other countries, they have their own way of things to arrange it, and we are also able to learn from them so that we are able to improve ourselves, especially the efficiencies and how to save the money to help the people.
Including the accompanying relatives and friends of the members, the club expects 20,000 people making the special trip to Hong Kong. The convention is projected to generate $400 to $500 million in tourism revenue for Hong Kong. The Tourism Board encourages visitors to utilize Hong Kong as a starting point to explore the Greater Bay Area.
And Hong Kong is ready to take you further by shrinking its role as the gateway to the GBA Greater Bay Areas and other mainland cities through multi-destination tourism. We are opening new opportunities. I encourage you to make the most of your stay by exploring Hong Kong together with the Greater Bay Area.
The conference spans 5 days, during which some participants will also help deliver meals and visit the elderly in Hong Kong. Samantha Lowe, TVB News.
The PLA Navy vessels Nanning and Hengyang welcomed the general public to go on board for a visit. Alina Wang has more.
The vessels docking at Nongshan Chao Barracks see large crowds queuing early on the first open day for the general public. Military guides give detailed explanations of equipment on board. The Nanning's standout 130mm main gun and the carrier-based aircraft on the quarterdeck attract many tourists to take photos.
This is the first time, and we tried last few years, but we were not able to get the ticket. But this time we were lucky, so we all have come, and we want to show our son these military ships. They are very big ships, wonderful ships.
I'm so proud of our army and our soldier and our navy. This helicopter, I like this so much because I want to learning how to fly, and this ship can put this helicopter in here. That can we can see this ship is how this ship is big.
A military enthusiast even brings along a panatoy specifically designed for PLA Navy.
The atmosphere of the warm welcome from barrack, and as well as the spirits of the Chinese soldiers. I think that's the most impressive part.
Meanwhile, crew members recall the evacuation of Chinese nationals from Sudan during the conflict in the African country. She says when the stranded Chinese were rescued, everyone felt relieved. Some even wept and expressed their gratitude. After all, the ships came all the way across the ocean to take them home. To welcome the public, the barracks prepared souvenirs for ticket holders, along with various performances, including one by well-known singer Kenny B, as well as the military band and dancers. Visitors can get hands on semaphore and knot tying and check out nautical instruments up close. Sunday will be the last opening day, and those who have registered can enjoy a day out aboard two of our Navy's finest ships. Alina Wang, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.